What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Link will probably be in the description box below. But New Orleans businesses closed because of the Essence Festival. Too many black people are coming in town, and they're trying to enjoy the tourism in the city. And oh my God, we need to close our restaurants and our stores, and we'll be out of business until July 5th. And you got numerous businesses doing this, right? And here's the irony about doing that in New Orleans. For one, that's cool. People from New Orleans is not going who live there. They ain't fucking with you after this over. But here's the thing. This comes up because of gentrification. Because whether y'all know it or not, I was born in New Orleans, so it's not that's one of my homes. Uh, so all of this sideways bullshit didn't start occurring until they started gentrifying the area, because this wasn't going on the last for years, because the city and downtown area or outside of downtown was pretty much this is a black city until Katrina hit. So now people who've been taking advantage of the taxes, because ironically they couldn't fix a lot of the things in the city. When I became maybe a teenager, and I wasn't living there anymore, but I went back every year. So things deteriorated ever since the 80s. Like everything got worse and worse and worse, but people were still paying taxes. But now all of a sudden they got money for roads because they're gentrifying the place, and more white people are showing up. So so you mean to tell me you couldn't fix the roads for the last 20 years, but now all of a sudden you got the money for it? You full of shit. But okay, whatever. Now, the other thing about that is a lot of this is restaurant business. And this is the one thing about that I love about the hypocrisy of this. For most of you people who don't know this, Louisiana culture and the culture that people consider, New Orleans, that's pretty much all black culture. People think it's French. Yeah, okay. It's Creole. That means black. Cajun is the white version of Cajun is supposed to be white, and Creole is supposed to be black. For y'all who don't understand that, the food all black, the jazz all black. The decorative style all black. And a lot of what people don't get who frequent the city is this. This is why, especially with restaurants, this is why people like myself, we've watched this happen to our family members for years, especially with cooking. You get somebody who's non-black who wants to befriend you and be cool with you and get part of your family, and then whatever you're doing, they'll steal it, and then they'll sell it in their community, and then stonewall you if you try to when you're trying to do the same thing. So when people talk about not just gentrification but economic deprivation, it goes hand in hand with that. People think Popeyes. Well, you better look into the story of Popeyes. It was a black lady who actually was making that chicken, and she was working for the family who owns Popeyes, if I'm not mistaken, and they loved her chicken so much. Oh, we gonna hook you up. We gonna give you a piece of this. Really? She thought they were good people, but obviously, the only old they give to her is some black lady that they put in the commercials. Cafe Du Monde. If y'all ever go in the French Quarter, they make some great beignets. The cooking, yeah, I know the cooking's good. Well, Vietnamese people own that. If y'all didn't know that, I forgot how long ago they got it, but one of the staples of New Orleans used to be Hank's, but now it's in Houston. Vietnamese people own that now. Hank is not a Vietnamese name. I mean, it's not completely the same recipes, though. I can tell you that. Everybody, when they talk about cultural appropriation, You know, like I said, one of the best Chinese restaurants in New Orleans was Chinese Kitchen, and I guess I don't know if it's changed over the years, but that was pretty much black people cooking their Chinese food. Put on some clothes, dude. You don't take a shower and put on the same clothes. You tripping? Uh, so what winds up happening is, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what happens now? These restaurants are we closing? But see, a couple years from now, when they need a chef or somebody to spice up their menu, and we need help, because contrary to belief, to most people, people go to New Orleans for the restaurants and for the cooking and the ambiance and all of that other good stuff. But these non-black people really mess up the recipes real bad. So you come and you getting a watered down version of something anyways, and then you got to go somewhere where they really can cook. And when they businesses start taking a dip, they start looking for people that kind of look like me to help them figure it out. So then we're gonna, oh, we got it now. We can fire you, get rid of you. We're back in business, baby. And black people been picked up on that, so we stopped doing that with them. Just stop. That's why the economic deprivation is there, because it's kind of undertone that it's kind of already known that they have to kill a competition before it starts, because if we start competing, it ain't no competition. So, but I bring up this thing with the businesses in New Orleans and giving that little backdrop because of this. What happens is this. Now, this is the Essence Festival. This is not, because people, this is some rap concert and Boston Black crime. They're out here shooting and killing and stabbing people. Oh my God. Oh God, it's the Essence Festival. You ain't never heard shit like that. If you just dress properly, it's the Essence Festival. Everybody dresses properly. If you're middle class and upper middle class, you don't have these issues. This Essence Festival is upper class and upper middle class and upper middle class. Yeah, that's pretty much these same issues. So these people aren't sagging their pants. No, people aren't thugs. No, this is how people act, man. Look back in the last 5, 6, 10 years. How many Essence Festival fights have you heard? How many Essence Festival World Star videos have you seen? How many Essence Festival ratchet moments have you seen? And if I'm really gonna get down to it, see, the Essence Festival got hijacked any fucking way. So this is just an extension of that, because part of the problem was this: you used to have black vendors at the Essence Festival selling their black things because it's supposed to be the Essence Festival. Once the Essence magazine, I think, sold itself to some white corporation, the vendors went from inside the Essence Festival to outside the Essence Festival to get the fuck from right here Essence Festival. I don't know if they brought them back yet, because see, the difference between New Orleans and other places is, you do that with us in New Orleans, we ain't fucking with you. See, the Essence Festival in some ways has been taking a hit because people pay attention to the treatment. It went from black people to Walmart to let's try the ratchet stuff, and it turned off a lot of the people coming. So people, even though they come, sometimes they don't spend like they used to, because they don't pull out of their pocket when they feel disrespected. Because people talk about, one of the other places I grew up was on the west side of Chicago. So, Chicago, and then sometimes there's people in New Orleans. But let me tell you something about people in New Orleans. They don't do that disrespect. They don't do the disrespect. You feel me? It used to be RT ain't bound. Now I be busting his ears when I come around. But they don't do it to the point where they'll tell you about yourself, and they tell you they ain't spending their money with you. End of story. You ain't getting that back. And they will shut a business down just by not frequenting it. And people think, oh well, unless black people come, good. Not good. Because in New Orleans, if there ain't no black people in your establishment, it must not be popping. It must not be that good. It must be dry. It must be bland. And you can't be dry and bland in New Orleans. It's bad for business. And I don't mean cool. I mean if they don't frequent your restaurant, your ass can't cook. You can't give off the air that you can't cook in New Orleans. It's just what it is. We out.